Okay, it is 10:46 a.m. and I'm gonna go over the trades and some other stocks, but I want to see if this level at 333 is gonna break, and if it goes red on the day for just a nice downtrend towards the bottom, I won't be a part of it, but if it happens, it can happen, and this could be a head and shoulder, the head here, and then the shoulder is right here. And I did have a few trades. Let's go over the first one, which is IJJP. This is a not a listed, a OTC stock. It's up on its first day, a lot of volume, not the best, because you can see that it's had big volume days, so there could be sellers at any point. There could be bag holders, so it's never good when you see that it recently had a big volume day. Maybe not a big move, but a big volume day, because that means again there could be people who might be selling into any spike. And I was going for a morning spike with this one, a high day breakout, but I just did not really like it too much because it is a sub penny stock. And even at this point, I saw that there was a lot of people supporting it at 19, and it did break 20 and it got to 21, right? And then it came back, and then it looked like it was trying to uptrend and everything. I was in at 9:38 a.m. and that was at 22. So right here, 9:38 was right here. I knew I didn't have the best entry. In theory, I would have been likely happier if I was in at 20 or 21, but I did get in at 22 right when it looked like it was going to break 22 and go to 23, which it did do. As you can see at 9:38, it did trade around this 21 to 23 level and 22 in the middle. Again, me being in right when it looked like it was going to break past it. As you can see, I was in at 9:38 on the 10th second, so that's why I was in it. And I just didn't like the price action, and the level 2 might have been kind of off. I looked and compared Interactive Brokers and E-Trade, and there were times when Interactive Brokers was ahead of E-Trade and E-Trade was lagging behind, but the price action wasn't looking very good. It did look like it was going to break, and my theory was that when I was in at 22 here at 9:38, I was going to get out if it was going to break. VWAP, which was 21, or actually no, I think it was 20. I didn't risk VWAP. I risked this level 20, the nice round number 20, and worst case I'm out at 19. And I did get out at 9:39 the next minute at 22, the same price, because I didn't like the price action, and it did continue to uptrend. I mean, it got as high as 25, but it was just not looking very nice at the moment. It looked like it was going to really break the level, and it held and it continued to uptrend, but the price action looked really bad. The level 2 was kind of off, so that kind of threw me off, and that was the case with that. And as for MULN, I did short this one, and I can't really show it because it's on Trade Zero, and they don't have like a little platform like this. They have a they have the page on the website, so it's not something I can really show because it has my account information and everything. But I did consider a short. I did see the turnaround here. It was kind of similar to yesterday, but I didn't think it was as nice as yesterday. It was the first time yesterday when it had a significant drop in a while, near a significant level, and then the next day when it had a drop towards $3, which is trying to base off of. I just didn't think it was as nice as yesterday, but it did make an uptrend. It did hold, and then it broke past VWAP, and then it made a nice move towards the upside. And I did consider shorting it. I had to pay 50 pennies to reserve 100 shares, and I can trade those 100 shares as many times as I want until I am out of day trades. Or if you have a cash account, no, you can't really short with a cash account. I was short at 1016. And why 1016? Because I thought in theory, okay, I was watching it here. I didn't feel comfortable wanting to short it just because it's right at VWAP. It could break VWAP and do something nice, which it did right here. But when it got to this, it doesn't really show, but the previous close was 331. So, I thought, all right, well, maybe it can make an uptrend and then it can get to this level right here, which is the, red to green move, and maybe it might reject it. It did have a little wick here at 333. So my idea was considering a short at 1016, which you can see clearly didn't work out. And if it were to have broken past this 333, wow, it is doing it. If it were to have broken this 333 level, then I would have cut it. And that's what happened at 1017. I was out at, it looks like I was out looking at the other page at 333 exactly. And then I left it alone. And then I saw what could have been the head and shoulders. So I went long at right here, 1041. Why? Because they had the shoulder, the head, and in theory, this is a consolidation point. They can make a shoulder, ideally in the 340s, which would be nice. Or best case scenario, it goes crazy and it gets above the day high and, you know, above the 350s. And it looks like stocks to trade crashed again. So I was in it at 1041 again, 50 shares, the same amount of shares at 334, and I sold at 336, 1045 because it was starting the uptrend right here to here, and then it made this move right here, right? But I didn't like how it just looked like it was going to break. I can't really explain it now. It looked clear back when I was in the trade, but it looked like it was doing an uptrend and then it kind of like broke an imaginary trend line that I had and I got out. Let me see if it's the right time. Yeah, 10:45. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, yeah. So, you know, it was holding this level and then it went from here to here, so I had an imaginary trend line. I didn't draw it, but you know, mentally I saw a trend line right here just based off of the corner of this candle right here to the first one that's uptrending. Right? So when it broke it at 10:45, I got out at 336. I got out here. Now it's in the 320s. The head and shoulders played out, and that's something I had in consideration that, you know, this could be a shoulder head, but it might make a little small stubby shoulder, which was the case. I saw that at 336 right here, and I was in at 334. So now it is downtrending. The head and shoulders killed it, right? This is when I probably should have went short, right, instead of long, but what could have happened is that this shoulder here could have went much higher into the 340s or maybe even broken the day high. It just ended up being a small stubby shoulder, and I didn't necessarily want to jump in and trade this thing again, but hey, that's nice. You know, the 330s now in the 320s, and it broke under VWAP. Now, is it going to continue? It can. This isn't necessarily the best stock for trend lines because it likes to break it but still continue the pattern, as you can see here. Right, if I were to have drawn a trend line from here to the red candle right there, it doesn't really follow it, but it's still uptrends, right? So that's the case with that. I am going to be down so far. I'm not sure how much. Um, Maybe like $2 or $3, $3 or $4. I don't think it was over $5. And yeah, I'm gonna leave this one alone. In theory now, the short should have been right here at the shoulder of the head and shoulders. But again, I didn't know how big the shoulder was going to be, and I wasn't so aggressive that I was just going to buy and then sell and then immediately short. I just, maybe I can do that in the future, but you know, it's looking nice so far. However, it is trying to break the trend line. And that's about it for right now. There's nothing else really interesting. Yeah, there really isn't anything interesting right now as for the other ones. I'll keep watching, you know, getting that study time, I guess, watching MULN and the price action, but that was the idea. Again, I had a, where was it? A short right here off of this range. I got out when it broke and went from red to green, and I went long here and I sold here, and this could have been the short setup, but it's going to be stingy all the way down if it downtrends more. I'll make an update later. It is 1:06 p.m. and I want to make an update with MULN. I've been watching this one and I've been pretty conflicted with it, so I haven't traded anything. At some points it looked like a potential long position, and at other points it looks like a short. Right now it looks a little bit like a short because I mean, it broke under this line, which isn't that significant anymore, but it's trying to break under this one. And it's also really close to now VWAP, and on top of that, it's the green to red move. So it could be something where maybe it can continue the uptrend, especially, I guess not so much right now, but around midday, a lot of these things can do a high day breakout or do something pretty crazy, but it's not looking like it's at least as likely as it was previously to do something like that, but it can still do it. And it could also now again break this 331 level, which is the previous close in VWAP, and it can make a really nice move towards the bottom. So right now I'm conflicted. It could be a dip buy if it holds the level and it uptrends. It could be a short if it gets to the level and it breaks under, or maybe a short with that in mind that it's downtrending overall, not looking as nice as it was previously. I guess a new trend line perhaps could be drawn from, I'd say, this level. I have no idea what that ringing sound is in the background, if you can hear that. I'll continue to watch this, but right now it's no trades, it's just something to watch. Alright, it is 131 and I got out of a short with MULN. I had a really dumb entry, but my exit was just recently at the 321 level. This thing can continue to downtrend the rest of the day. I'm not really good with short setups in general, but I just don't like how it's trying so hard. So many shares are being dumped on the bid. It's so many, selling price action, and it just doesn't really break under. So I just felt like the thing was too strong, so I got out of it for that reason. And I was short, let's see. I was short at 123, and that was at 324.1. Right here, 123, and that was the level right here, 324. Really dumb because, it broke this level right here. I wasn't there when it was happening, but I did see it later, and I saw the downtrending price action, and it made a bottom at 324. Then I got short at that 123 level, and I should have waited for it to do some kind of a comeback because a lot of these do that. They break a super significant level at downtrends, and then it makes a bottom. Of course, worst case scenario just keeps downtrending, but in most cases, it is downtrending after it broke a level, and then it kind of comes back and tries to get to the level, and maybe it does get to the level, maybe it gets slightly above it, maybe just under it, and then you just wait for the level to turn around to kind of judge and try to get the best entry based off of that. And what I did was that I saw a downtrend and then it was just bouncing back and forth, and I said, let me get short now. I didn't even like try to let it, try to make a uptrend and then play off of the level, which is VWAP, and on top of that, the green or red level. So that was dumb because at that point I could have been short at a higher level, like at 327 or 328 or 326 or maybe even 324. But at least, maybe I tried to get short at those levels. But that was a dumb entry, and I covered at 130 at 321 right here just because I didn't like how strong it was, and it's doing it. I mean, it's at 324 to 325, but it did break this level, which is VWAP and the green the red level. So the thing can, maybe just downtrend, uptrend, downtrend, but overall downtrend, it could totally do something like that. Again, I just got out because I didn't really like how strong it was, how so many people were supporting it. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it alone at this point. I don't want to use all my day trades on trade zero. This is fine. This is a work in progress because I'm not really the best at shorting compared to the other setups that I do. But I did see the pattern here, and yeah, this was ultimately, the breakdown level. It could have been that, and it was also like a head and shoulder inception, maybe a shoulder head, and then a shoulder here, and it broke the neckline. You could say this was a head and shoulder, head, shoulder, but I don't want to, go crazy with that. But yeah, I'll make an update to see what this one does. That was probably my last trade. I think I'm still down on the day. I'm not extremely sure. I might be up like 4 pennies if my math is right, but I think a lot of good experience, and none of the setups were really ideal today. At least compared to yesterday, I thought the setups were much better. Alright, it is 9:32 p.m. and I am here to call it off. Overall, I am down today 43 pennies, but I think I learned a lot. I'll gladly pay 43 pennies and learn all the lessons I did again, but obviously I would have liked being profitable. It's very impressive. MULN continued a downtrend from this original trend line following it here. There was a point where it would blip past it a little like it did here, and this part later in the day. And I just didn't have the patience to hold this. Again, I had my short right here, my cover around here. The thing went as low as $3. And if you look at extended hours, it did continue to stay around that $3 level, which is pretty cool. What can I do to get better? I think what I can do is just definitely improve on my short entry like I did right here. I should have waited for it to do a spike towards the upside. And who knows, maybe if I were to have gotten a better short, maybe at like 328, then maybe I would have had that patience to hold through this longer based off of the trend line, and then maybe I would have made a lot more money or at least felt better because I held through it longer. But I don't mind my cover too much. But I definitely do have an issue with when I did the buy there, and then I had that entry, that long position at 1041, which was this one right here. It worked a little bit. And then I had that trade with MULN, that first short right here, which didn't work out. That was pretty dumb. I probably should just wait for like, I don't know, wait for a top to form first and then consider shorting a lower high or something like that. Or a breakdown. Maybe it's not the best for me to just, try shorting it while it's still on the way up. That's probably the better thing to do. And then this one, I tried this, it just threw me off the price action and everything. That was a scratch. That's really it for today. If I can have another red day that's this small, I think that's great. I just have to keep getting better. Very happy that I was able to, it's not like I'm biased or anything. I was able to go long and short MUL and just trying to trade patterns that seem clear to me. And I think that was a good part. Definitely should have worked on my entry there. And I need to also make sure I am sticking to my size. That's all I have for today.